So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto remembers being Ashura. Part 4. If you guys enjoy this what if, comment down below. And let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content. And leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also share this video with your friends. And check out the description. And check out my playlist. So let's start the video. Chapter 11, The Journey of Souls 11. Yamanaka clan home. With Ino. That was great, Ino, you had improved a lot, said Inoichi. Thank you, father, said Ino as she removes the sweat from her face. Ever since the last event and with her new assignment, Inoichi has taken personal care in giving into all the training and advice that he could. He is proud of her progress, but at the same time he was also worried. He never expected that his little girl would have joined the ANBU right after she graduated from the academy. But he understands that given the current circumstances he cannot be avoided. There is also the fact that just a couple of years ago he was worried about her future since she was too focused on that boy from the Uchiha clan, that she ignores her training, but now she has friends that not only train seriously but also behave like normal kids, and that is something that has a big impact on Ino. By the way, Dad, who is going to take my place with Shikamaru and Shuji? Asked Ino because she knew that it was expected that she would be part of the new Ino Shikacho group. That will be the daughter of my cousin. Her name is Shiho Yamanaka. She is a smart girl that loves to resolve puzzles. Do you think that she can resolve the mystery about how to motivate Shimaru and Choji? Joked Ino. If she ever did, all the women of the Nara clan will thank her for the rest of her life, said Inoichi. Tomorrow will be your first day, so we will stop here, go take a bath and have some breakfast. After that you can take the rest of the day off. Thank you, Dad. Ino. After taking a bath, Ino went to her room to get ready for the day. She was covered in a towel while she places the clothes that she is going to wear today in the bed. Then she walks towards the full-body mirror that she has in her room, and when she stood before it, she dropped the towel as she began to see her body in the mirror. Lately, Ino had been doing this every morning as she moves her hands over the lines of her new muscles. In the past, the idea of having muscles that will damage the image of her perfect body is something that would make her mad, but now she is proud of her figure. But the lines of her new muscles are the proof that she has changed. That she is no longer that stupid kid that was after that idiot of Sasuke, that she has taken control of her life and future, but also, she was proud of her beauty, because even in her opinion now she looks more secure and decided. Taking one last look at the mirror, she turned around and began to dress. When she was ready, she went to the kitchen to have breakfast with her family. By the way, Ino, do you have plans to see your friend Naruto today? Asked Ino's mom. Yes, why do you ask? It is just that I had his share of the money of the sale of his furniture, so if you are going to see him you can give it to him. This little arrangement where Naruto can sell the furniture that he creates with his wood release was thanks to Ino. It all happens when Ino hears her parents talking about using the store next to them to expand their business, and they were trying to come up with an idea. That is when Ino told them how Naruto uses his powers to create furniture to sell and get some money. Inoichi saw this as a business opportunity and took advantage that their store is on the main street of Konoha, which will make it easier to sell his furniture. After that they make a deal, the Yamanaka will run the store and sell his furniture for a share of the profit. Sure, Mom. After they finished their breakfast, each one of them began their daily routines. While she was walking to the home of Naruto, she began to realize how much time she had been spending in the home of her friend, and not only she but Hinata, Hanabi, and Yakumo as well. And she loved it. She then took a key from her pocket. Naruto has given her a copy of the key of his home to she and the others girl, and that make her feel happy. When she was on the border of the forest on the way to Naruto's home, she stopped, looked around to see that no one was seeing her, and then smiled. A little practice won't hurt, said Ino as she closed her eyes as she began to feel the energy of the nature that is around her, how it penetrates her body and makes contact with her chakra, and has the sensation that she was hit by a fresh wave of energy. Violet's markings appear around Ino's eyes, and when she opens them the pupils of his eyes have a vertical line, similar to the iris of a fox's eyes. Ever since Naruto gave her that mark, she can access this new power easier than before. Not only that, but controlling it becomes simpler, and not only she, but Hinata, Hanabi, and Yakumo as well. More than that, each one sees how her family and techniques become more powerful. Making sure one more time that no one is around, she smiles as she gets ready to run, and one moment later, she wasn't there as she runs at a speed that only an elite could run, and she loved this feeling. It wasn't long before she arrived at Naruto's home and the others were already there. Unlike other days, they weren't training, mainly because tomorrow they will begin their official careers as shinobis and decide to just relax for the day. "Hello, Ino," said Hanabi, that was the first one to see her. "Good morning, everyone," said Ino as she releases her Sage mode. "Did you come here using the Sage mode?" said Yakumo. It wasn't a real question but an affirmation. "Do not worry, no one saw me. After all, my sensor abilities grew so much when I used this mode, Ino. It is good to see that all of you have gotten used to your new powers. Normally it would take years of training and practice to be able to use it without danger, but thanks to the mark that you receive, you now can use it safely," said Naruto as he came out of the house with many things in his arms. "Now, who is ready for a barbecue?" For Naruto, this was something special. To be able to share with his friends like this is something some time ago he would consider an impossible dream, but now it is possible, and he will enjoy every moment that he shares with them. "Let me help you," said a happy Hinata. "Thanks, Hinata-chan," said Naruto as he gave her some of the ingredients that he was carrying. "The fire is ready," said Yakumo from the grill. "And I had the music," said Hanabi as she turned on a little radio. This moment was perfect for all of them, and they decided to repeat it as often as they could, because they enjoyed barbecues. And while they were having a good day, in another part of the Fire Nation, "I will kill that old monkey, Tsunade. Please, Tsunade-sama. I know that you are mad, but you can go inside the village and hit the Hokage Shizen. Just watch me." Tsunade and Shizen had been traveling ever since they received that letter, and they expected to arrive at Konoha this afternoon. They had been traveling for days now, and in all that time Shizen had been trying to calm her master, but nothing seemed to work. It is seen that the only thing that she could do is use her medic skill to trade the Hokage after her master has released her anger, if there is something to cure after that. But they weren't the only ones heading to Konoha, as a small group was heading to the Fire Country in a boat in the middle of the ocean. In the frontal deck, we can see how Kushina is looking at the horizon. It will be still a couple of weeks before they can see the lands of the Fire Country, but being in a boat there is little that you could do. Over the past days, they had begun to train next to the boat using the water walking technique. Either they run next to the ship or they push the boat when there is no wind, but today they are resting. All but Kushina spent all the time when she wasn't teaching the girls in this place, looking at the horizon, in the direction of her former home. "Been here will not make the boat go faster, you know, Tokiwa. I just cannot sleep, Kushina. Have you planned what you are going to do when you meet him?" Tokiwa. "I had expended all my time thinking about that in the last years, and even now I do not have an answer, Kushina." "Then what do you plan to do?" Tokiwa. "I need answers, how I can face him if I do not know what happened in the first place, Kushina." "Nice idea, but where are you going to find them?" "It has been around 12 years since that day," said Tokiwa. It had been years since Kushina told her about her past and her son. "There is a way. My clan used to have a temple in Konoha that had very dangerous objects stored there. One of them has the power to give me my answers, Kushina." "Why do I have the feeling that it will be dangerous?" Tokiwa. "Because you are a smart person, but do not worry, I do not have any death wish, not until I had made up for what I did to my son Kushina." "It won't be easy, it would take time, decades even, Tokiwa." "I know, but what else can I do?" Kushina. "I wish you good luck, and I have a little advice. Do not try to give him orders like a mother would, even if you do not agree with his decisions. That will only make him furious." Tokiwa. "That almost sounds like it comes from experience." Kushina. "Because it is. As you know, there is no male born in our clan, all are females, that force us to look for spouses outside the village, and while keeping a friendly relationship with the neighbors' farmers and we make business with them, they weren't strong enough to be our husband. In one occasion I went to see a farmer so I could buy part of his harvest. I had known him by years and his family. But that day when I saw him, he and his son looked very sad. By a moment I thought that something bad has happened to his wife. Later I found out that she just abandoned both of them to marry a man with more money." Tokiwa. Kushina listens to that story with great attention. "What happened to the son?" "Thankfully the farmer has a sister. She and her family step up and help them. So while the farmer was working on the fields, his sister and her children take care of the farmer's son. As the time passed on, the son grew and was able to help his father, until one day the mother that has abandoned returned. It is seen that the man that she chose over her family while having money was a monster in the inside. It is seen that even with all her new wealth she wasn't happy. She even tries to leave him many times to escape from the abuse of her new husband, but that man will not allow her to leave him. However, after many years that man died. And the wife was now the rich widow of that man, and the first that she tried to do was to come back to her old family and beg for forgiveness and ask for a second opportunity. Kushina, who has listened to this story, could see that even if their circumstances were different, she could see similarities in her current condition and the ones of that wife. Did her family receive her? By that time the farmer married a new woman and created a new family with her. The former wife was not welcome in their home, Tokiwa. And the son? Asked Kushina. The son just ignores her. The wife then tries to buy his forgiveness with presents and money, but that just angered the son. There was one occasion where the son tried to do some dangerous journey to open a new trade route. The former wife tried to stop him and order him to not go. That didn't end well, as he told her that she has no right to give him orders. Thankfully the journey ended well and he opened a new trade route. It took years for him, but he became civil when he was with his mother. He never called her mom again, and their relationship was never the same as it was before she left them. She ended up living in a small house on the border of their town, trying to be part of her son's life, even if it was just small parts. Then Tokiwa looked at Kushina and told her, "Your circumstances may be different, but I want to give you this advice. 1. Do not try to buy his forgiveness with presents. That will not end well and he may get very angry with you. 2. Do not try to give him orders. Even if you do not like what he is doing, he will not recognize your authority, and even try to do more things like that just to hurt you. 3. You must be ready to accept that you may never have the relationship that you want with your son, and that it may take you years to even have a civil relationship. You have been a great friend all these years and I do not want to see you suffer. That is why I am telling you this, so you can prepare for the time when you meet him." "Thanks, Tokiwa, you had helped me a lot, and do not worry, I will first find my answers and then I will face my son. Just promise me that if he tries to punch me, do not stop him. He has all the right to do it and vent his anger on me." "It will be hard, but I understand your point." Then the two friends keep looking at the horizon in silence. Back in Konoha. In Naruto's home, former mass temple. The group of friends had spent all day together just enjoying each other's company, but as time advanced, the time for them to depart to their own homes arrived and they began to say their goodbyes. "Well, we better get home and have a nice night of rest," said Ino. "I never expected to become an ANBU so soon. I wonder what will happen tomorrow, Yakumo." "I don't know, but I am sure that we can overcome anything that we face if we work together, Hinata." "That's right, Hanabi. Be careful on your way home. Are you sure that you do not want me to send some clones to escort you, Naruto?" All the girls denied with their heads, but they had a smile on their faces. "Thanks for the offer, but we aren't damsels in distress, Ino. And if anything happens, we can always use our new powers or call for your help, Hinata." With that said, the girls began their way home. However, when they are about to depart, they go to their respective homes. "One-sama, could you please wait for a moment?" said Hanabi as she creates a shadow clone. "What happened to Hanabi?" asked Hinata, wondering why her sister created a shadow clone. "Nothing, it is that Yakumo told me about some new pictures that she has been working on, and wants my opinion, so I will send a shadow clone with her so it can see them and give her an opinion," said Hanabi with a smile. Hinata on her part knew that that is not all true, because that smile of hers is the one that she uses when she is plotting something, but she just let it pass as a small game that she has with Yakumo while she and the original Hanabi began to walk towards their home. The Hanabi clone turned to see Yakumo once she saw that both Hinata and Ino were no longer close to them. "Do you get it?" asked the Hanabi clone. "Here is it," said Yakumo as she took a small store scroll from her clothes and released what was inside. It was a book, but not any book. It was one that had some drawings and paintings divided into panels that were telling a story. Hanabi and Yakumo have begun to work on this story for a couple of months by now. All began when on their way to Naruto's home by accident Hanabi dropped one of her books, which happened to be the Two Moon Princesses and the Ronin. Yakumo knew about those books and was surprised that Hanabi had one of them. It was at that moment that Hanabi told her that this book has given her new hope about the future. Yakumo didn't understand what she was talking about, so Hanabi explained to her that she has feelings for Naruto, but she was afraid to move on because her sister loved him before, and she did not want to hurt Hinata or betray her. Yakumo could understand that feeling because over the last year she has come to also develop feelings for Naruto, but she, just like Hanabi, didn't dare to move on those feelings because she about Hinata's love, and because she was the first to see him as the wonderful person that he is. She believes that Hinata deserves to be happy with him. But that does not explain why Hanabi has that book. That is when Hanabi dropped the bomb and told her. The plotline is about how two sisters fall in love with the same man, but instead of forcing him to choose one and hurt the other, they agreed to share him, said Hanabi. That surprised Yakumo for a moment before she could react. Hanabi, I understand your love for Naruto, but that book is a fictional story, not a real one. You cannot expect something like that to happen in real life, said Yakumo, who was expecting Hanabi to deny what she just said. But to her surprise, she just smiled and took another book. This one is an old book that has the symbol of Konoha on the cover. This is a book that has Konoha clan laws written on them, and there is a special law on it about clans where the only male surviving that also has a bloodline limited can have more than one wife, said Hanabi with a big smile. Yakumo took the law book and began to read and saw that what Hanabi said was true. That is why I am doing my research, to protect the happiness of my sister Hinata, my happiness, and more importantly to protect Naruto's future, said Hanabi with a serious face. Protect him? Asked a confused Yakumo. It is only a matter of time before girls that do not know Naruto the way that we do come after him because of his clan thanks to that traitor, and when that happens, to tell me how you would feel to see some useless fangirls after Naruto? Said Hanabi with a serious face. Yakumo didn't like the feeling that she was having inside her. That is why I am doing my research, to find a way to get closer to him without hurting Hinata and at the same time to open her to the idea that we need to be all together to protect Naruto, said Hanabi. Yakumo remained silent for a few moments as she returned the law book to Hanabi and took the Ika Tactics book. Do you mind if I borrow this one? Asked Yakumo with a blush on her face. A couple of days later, Yakumo returned the book to Hanabi, and that day they agreed to work together to ensure that they will be the ones that join Naruto and Hinata. It's funny how all their plans ended in an illustration book, where Hanabi writes the ideas and Yakumo paints them. They didn't know, but their work will later end in the creation of the first HXX manga on the Elemental Nation, and the plotline of their first story is about how a group of female ninjas join their powers and skill to protect a powerful but clueless ninja heir while they deepen their love. Back to the present moment. That is great, you have improved, said Hanabi. Yes, but I am a little concerned about something. When will be the right time to tell Hinata and Ino about this? Asked Yakumo. To be honest, I am not sure. We are about to start our ANBU training, so we will need to wait a little more, but at the same time we cannot wait too long because new rivals may arrive, said Hanabi. You are right about that, Yakumo. For the next few weeks we must focus on our training. After that we will make a decision, said Hanabi. Yes, editor, I mean Hanabi. With that, Hanabi, the shadow clone, takes one last look at the illustrations and then disappears. In the Hokage Tower. Sarutobi was very tired and was hoping to end this paperwork so he can go home and rest, but as always life didn't care about what he wanted. It had been a long time, Sensei said a voice from outside the window. Jiraiya, what I had told you about using the door, Sarutobi. Did you send me an emergency call just to talk about doors? Asked Jiraiya. No, a lot has happened and I will need your help here for a couple of weeks, Sarutobi. I never liked Danzo. I never understood why you didn't kill him when you had the chance, Jiraiya. I see that your spy network is as good as always, Sarutobi. So, you want me to find any root agents that may still be inside the village? Jiraiya. Yes, but there is another reason. It is about Naruto, Sarutobi. What happened to him? Jiraiya. It has to do with a secret about his family that not even his father knew about, Sarutobi. Tell me everything, said Jiraiya with a serious face, as this information involves his late student. Chapter 12, The Journey of Souls 12. Restricted Training Grounds, near the ANBU HQ. It was early in the morning, but many of the residents of the village were already up taking care of their business and duties. However, in this area where the elite of the elite has their base of operations, we can see a small group of kids that are heading towards a training area that was exclusive for this group. Normally the guards that protect their HQ would send them back, but this group is special, as they know why they are here and how they had come to see. I wonder what we will do on our first day? Asked Yakumo. I do not know, my mom never told us what she did when she was an ANBU captain, said Hinata. Do you believe that the training will be too difficult? Asked Hanabi. The ANBU are the elite, so I believe that it will be hard, but we advanced so much thanks to Naruto-kun teaching. It was all thanks to your hard work, said Naruto. It was not long until they arrived at the training area that Mikoto reserved for them. In the middle of them, and in the middle of the training field, a figure was standing, waiting for them. Mikoto-san? From this moment you will call me Sensei, Mikoto. Really? I never expect you to be our sensei, Naruto, As you are aware, your circumstances are very different from other recruits. For that reason, special measures are needed, Mikoto. Naruto and the girls understood what she meant. With the attack and kidnapping attempt from Mizuki, they knew that their future would be full of challenges. What are we going to do now? Hanabi. Normally any new team will be tested to see their level of teamwork and skills, but you managed to defeat a special squad of Orochimaru's forces and a traitor to this village, so I believe that we can skip that part. For now, I would like to know more about your skill. If I am going to be your captain, I need to know what you can do, so I can make plans based on that, Mikoto. And how are we going to do that? Asked Yakumo. At that moment, Mikoto put her hands together in the cross hands signal that all of them now know too well. Kega Kunshin no Jutsu. A moment later, another Mikoto was standing right in front of them. You had to take down my clone, was Mikoto's simple answer as she began to walk towards a tree that was on the border of the training area. By the way, the training began now. Just like that, at that moment, the clone of Mikoto jumped and began attacking them. All the while, the real Mikoto was standing under a tree. Enjoying the show? Sensei Mikoto. It is good to see that your skills are as good as always, said a voice. It is good to see you again, Jiraiya-sensei, said Mikoto as she kept her eyes looking at Naruto and the girl's battle with her clone. The last time that we saw each other was Jiraiya. In Minato's funeral, finished Mikoto for him. There was a moment of silence between them. He sure looks like his father, Jiraiya. It is more than just his looks. He may even already surpass Minato when he first graduated from the academy, Mikoto. Jiraiya just keeps looking at Naruto, how he gives instructions to the girls as he coordinates their efforts, while he covers their backs. He is taking the role of leader, observed Jiraiya. And the girls trust him and follow him, added Mikoto. Are you going to train him? Asked Mikoto. I am still considering that idea, Jiraiya. With your old teammate after him, he will need all the help that he can get, Mikoto. Jiraiya didn't say anything after he heard about Orochimaru. What are you planning to do now that you are back in the village, Mikoto? I will be looking for any other spy that Danzo or Orochimaru could still have inside the village. You know what they said, the best way to capture a spy is with another spy. That will be of great help, Mikoto. By the way, sensei, I hear some news that you may not like, said Mikoto, but unlike her serious tone of voice, she has an evil smile on her face. Really? What could be? Asked Jiraiya. The women hot spring is under new management, and they are remodeling it, so for the news few days it will be closed. What, but my research, how I can write if I haven't done my research and my editor is bothering me to send him the intro of my next book. How can I finish all that without my inspiration, said Jiraiya with tears. Oh, but there is more. When the women of the ninja clans learn that you will be here, they agree to only take baths in their clan's private baths. That is why the owner of the hot spring took this opportunity to remodel his business, said Mikoto with an evil smile. You enjoy torturing me, don't you? I am an ANBU captain, that comes with the job. At that moment, she feels something and turns to see how the kids manage to take down her clone. They are tired and on the ground as they try to recover their energy. It is seen that it is my time to leave, Jiraiya. You could just take this opportunity to say hello to him and meet your godson, Mikoto. It is too soon for that, said Jiraiya as he disappears. Mikoto then began to walk toward Naruto and the girls as if nothing had happened. Not bad, you did manage to take down my clone. To be honest, I believe that you would need more time to do that. I got the feeling that that clone went easy on us, said Hinata. My goal was to learn about your skills, not to kill you. Now that I know how you work together in a fight, I still need to learn more about your other skills. For the rest of the days, Mikoto began to test them in all the arts of the ninjas, from taijutsu to. It was late afternoon when Mikoto finished testing them. Okay, that will be all for today. Go home and get some rest. From tomorrow on you are going to need it. Just after saying that, she uses her speed to disappear before their eyes. At that moment all of them fell to the ground. I never imagined that Mikoto-sama could be so severe, said Hinata. I agree, said Hanabi as she is sitting next to her sister. Well, no one said that this will be easy, but look at the good side. This day marks our first day as a team, said Naruto. After hearing this, Ino, Yakumo, Hinata and Hanabi smile. What if we go to the Ichiraku for some ramen to celebrate? Said Naruto. Back with Mikoto. She changed her clothes in the ANBU HQ and was back in her civilian uniform as she was walking towards her home. She was planning to make a special dinner for her family and was in the middle of shopping for the ingredients when she saw her husband in the street. For some reason, the expression on his face told her that something was wrong. Fugaku Mikoto calls him to attract his attention. "Mikoto, are you done with your first day with your new team?" asked Fugaku. "Yes, but I can see that something is bothering you. What is wrong?" Mikoto asked her husband. Seeing that there is no point in keeping things from his wife, Fugaku answers her. "It is about Sasuke." "Is there something wrong?" asked a worried Mikoto. "I don't know. Ever since the truth about Danzo's action became public and how he was involved in the Kyuubi attack, the relationship with the clan and the village has improved, and now that I had more free time I tried to spend it with Sasuke, to teach him some our clan techniques. But he keeps rejecting every time that I offer to spend some time with him." Mikoto could understand her husband's preoccupations because she had also tried to spend some time with him, but Sasuke always rejected her. "I believe that he is jealous of Itachi," said Fugaku. "I don't know, he used to admire his big brother, so I believe that he will be happy when he learns that he will be the next Hokage, but he was seen to be mad all the time." Mikoto: "Do you think that this is just a phase? Itachi never had one, so I hope that it would be the same with Sasuke." Fugaku: "I do not know, hopefully, that is the case. I will try to talk with him tonight," said a worried Mikoto. She had the feeling that Sasuke was walking away from their family and his clan, but every time she tried to get close to him, he just ignored her. She hoped that today it would be different. Later that night. "See you tomorrow, Naruto-kun," said Hinata and the girls that had just finished their meal and were heading to their homes as they knew that their parents were waiting for them to hear about their first day. From Naruto's point of view, today was a great day, and he cannot wait to see what they will be doing tomorrow. He was walking through a small business area that has some small food shop because it was a shortcut to go to his home when his senses felt it. Chakra was being manipulated. Fearing an attack, he got ready. It was at that moment that a man came flying through a door that belonged to a local business and hit the wall on the other side. Obviously, hit by some form of attack. That surprised Naruto because it looks like the trouble, for this time, was not related to him. Normally, he would just ignore this situation and leave. He already has his own share of trouble and he did not want to get involved in a fight between strangers, especially when he did not know why they were fighting. However, his curiosity got the best of him, and he took a look to see what was happening. As soon as he looked through the hole, he saw a strange man with strange white hair. He was sitting while looking at a man that by his looks was the owner of this place. "Please, I do not know what you are talking about," pleaded the owner. "Do you really believe that I would be wasting my time here instead of doing my research unless I already know all that I need to know about you and your little operation?" said the man with white hair. "I told you that I am innocent," said the owner. At that moment, the man with white hair took something from his clothes and threw it on the ground. It was a picture. That picture shows the owner giving something to a man. That is, the owner. You give something to a man that is part of root, it is over. You better give up and tell us all that you know about your other friends that are still in the village, said the man with white hair. Damn you, said the owner as he saw that there was no point in keeping lying. He jumped to try to punch that white-haired man, hoping that this would create an opportunity for him to escape. Without standing out, the white-haired man opened the palm of his hand and before Naruto's eye a chakra ball began to form in a second lather. He hit the owner with it, sending him to fly, just like the first man. You can take him now, said the white-haired man, and a moment later a group of ANBU appeared out of nowhere and secured the two men. Take them to the interrogation team, get everything that you can from them. Yes, Master Jiraiya, said one of them. Naruto was surprised by what he had just seen, not only by the actions of those men but by that chakra ball. Not wanting to get in any trouble, he leaves that place. However, that night he will have a dream about how that man with white clothes used a similar drill to drill a water hole, and later he will use a bigger chakra ball with 3 smaller ones to fight against that man with the red eyes. The next morning, when Naruto woke up, the first thing that he said was, I remember. Chapter 13, The Journey of Souls 13. It had been a week since the events where Naruto had seen this strange man with long white hair like a hedgehog. Something about that strange had sparked a series of dreams and memories about how Ashura had used it both to build that well of water, and in battle against his brother. When I asked Kurama about it, why did the two brothers, who at first got along, later became enemies? He simply responded. The cause of the conflict was Indra's jealousy, as he could not accept that others could overcome him, what saddened my parents is that all he wanted was for Indra to try a little harder to understand others. Instead, he decided that he would end those who he believed threatened his supremacy. Ashura never wanted that conflict, but in the end he had no choice but to fight. But even when he had the opportunity to eliminate Indra, he refused to give him the final blow, and so he started a conflict that would last for centuries and torment his descendants. So remember, be humble. If you see someone who surpasses you, that it only means that you have to work harder and avoid unnecessary fights, but if the time comes for you to fight, don't hesitate to do whatever it takes to end the threat. That conversation confused him because, strange as it seemed, Kurama was the closest thing he had to a family and his relationship with the girls was very good. So, for the time being, he decided to try to replicate what Ashura used in his dream. But that's where the problem is, because unlike the past techniques where he was able to perform the techniques after remembering them, with this one he was having problems. Kurama had told him that since he remembered it, he already has the knowledge to use it, but he still doesn't have the ability. In the case of past techniques, these were mainly physical but with this technique, a higher level of control over the chakra is required than he has now, and until he reaches the required level of control, he will not be able to use it. After hearing that, Naruto decided to seek help to see how he could increase his level of control over his chakra. But for the time being, he had to meet with his team for his training. Kurama Clan Complex. Yakumo had just gotten out of the shower and was starting to get dressed. The traces of the disease that had previously weighed her down had disappeared, and she now possessed a beautiful, well-toned body, which now attracted the attention of her former classmates. But her attention didn't matter to her, as she was now happy with her current life. However, the conversation she had had with Hanabi had made her uneasy about how Naruto could have more than one wife if he wanted to. However, she was very sure that Naruto himself was unaware of this fact. Ever since Hanabi informed her about the Ciare Clan Restoration Act, she couldn't get out of her head what that meant, to the point that she had started drawing the scenes that were described in the stories that Hanabi was writing, using Hinata, Ino, Hanabi and herself as the protagonists, and obviously Naruto was the main one in the story. I couldn't believe how she was secretly drawing scenes that would make an adult blush. In fact, if she saw kids looking at those kinds of drawings, she would have called them perverts. But now she was the one who made those perverted drawings, and the more drawings she made, the more desires she had to make Hanabi's story a reality. But she knew that there was still a long way to go, because for that future to become a reality, they needed the support of everyone involved. The thought of talking to Hinata right now scared them, so she and Hanabi had decided to talk to Ino at the end of training today, and then when all the girls in the group agreed to talk to Hinata. That was certainly the part that scared her the most, since her good friend had proven to be terrifying when she got angry, but she didn't want to let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity pass her by. Looking at her new outfit, a white and red ensemble that emulated that of her former mentor Kurenai, she left her house. On the way to the training ground, we see how the Hyuga sisters calmly walked to the meeting point. However, Hinata could tell that something was strange Hanabi was up to, either intuition or the fact that she knew her very well. She couldn't get out of her mind that her little sister was planning a prank, but only time will tell that it is what it is. When she arrived at the training camp, she saw that everyone was already present. Good morning, Mikoto-sensei. Hinata. Good morning, Mikoto. What kind of training are we going to do today? Naruto asked. He was eager to start training and asked his sensei if he could give him some advice on how to improve his chakra control. In fact, there has been an opportunity to have our first mission, Mikoto said, attracting the attention of his students. It had already been a couple of weeks since they had become a special team, but in all that time they had only trained. They had never had a mission until now. This mission is special as it comes directly from the daimyo palace of our country. Mikoto. If so, shouldn't I be assigned to a more experienced team? That depends on the mission, and this is not a combat one, but information gathering. A couple of days ago, a man showed up in the capital of the country of fire and got an audience with the Minister of Economy and Commerce of our country. His name is Tazuna, and apparently he is building a bridge in his village. But he claims that a gang leader is sabotaging his efforts. Mikoto. And why is that so important to involve daimyo? Yakumo asked. Because of its location. Our country has long wanted to create a commercial port in the land of the waves, but political and logistical problems have delayed the project. But now a village that already has a port is building a bridge with the connection to the land of fire. By solving the problems I mentioned to you by themselves, our mission is to escort Tazuna to his village and see if it is true that he is building a bridge that connects to our country, and if he is suffering problems because of that gangster. If so, we must protect him. Naruto and the girls nodded to this information. We will leave tomorrow, so for today there will be no training. Go and prepare your equipment, as well as inform your family that you will be on a mission with an approximate duration of 2 to 3 weeks. With that said, Mikoto withdrew. This is our first mission, said a happy Naruto. I'll do my best to make sure everything goes well, Hinata said with the other girls nodding their heads. The next day we can see how they were all ready at the main gate of the village. Sensei? See Hanabi? Mikoto. I wanted to ask you why we are not wearing the uniform of the ANBU. And where is the customer? Ino. Good questions. Regarding the first one is why we are going to have direct contact with the person we must protect, so the masks in this case would complicate the mission. The story that we will give to Tazuna is that we are two common teams of genins, but that at the last minute the sensei and one of the students could not come due to special situations, so I took command and decided to continue it with the others members present and take the mission. About where is Tazuna? We must pick him up in the capital of the country of fire. A moment later, Mikoto's special team had left. But as fate would have it, at that very moment another ANUB's team was arriving, having arrived from their special mission. Find and escort Tsunade back to the village. And by Tsunade's look of fury, they were thanking the heavens that their mission was over and they didn't have any broken bones. Come on, Shizen, we need to go see the old man and tell him what I think about him hiding information about my family from me. With that, Tsunade headed towards the Hokage Tower. Thanks for listening. I do hope you enjoy it. Turn on that bell notification. Like, subscribe, and comment down below. And also check out the others' videos. I have created and enjoyed it. See you guys next video.